Okay, for this part, write each fraction as a decimal. There are some fractions that you should know what the decimal equivalents are. I would know all of the ones that have 4s on the bottom. So 1/4 is 0.25. I would know that 1/3 is 0.3 repeating. 1/2 is 0.5. Anything with a tenth underneath it, so 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, this is 0.1. And then the fifths, so 1/5 equals 0.2. So if you know these, you can kind of work with them, because 2/4 is 0.25 plus 0.25. 2/4 is 1/2. That's why it's 0.5. So 1/4 is 0.25. To write 1 7/8 as a decimal, what you do is you do 7 divided by 8 on your calculator. So if I do 7 divided by 8 on my calculator, I get 7/8 equals 0.875. And since there's a 1 in front, you write a 1. So 1.875. This one, 3/10. 3/10 is 0.3. So then we write this 3 in front. So it's 3.3. And then D, 3/5. Well, we know that 1/5 is 0.2. So 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 is 0.6. So here are our answers. So in your calculator, when you do this, what happens when you do 2/3 and the decimal doesn't end? So if I do 2 divided by 3 on my calculator, I get this long number that goes 0.66666666667. So what your calculator is doing is your calculator is rounding up the last digit. Your calculator can only show so many digits. So when the decimal doesn't end, it's a repeating decimal. Repeat means to do the same thing over and over again. So in this case, 2/3 is 6 over and over and over again. So we have a special symbol for that. Whatever part repeats, you put a bar on top. So 0.6 repeating is 2/3. Second one, I'm going to do 15 divided by 11. And on my calculator, this is what it looks like. It looks like 1.363636363634, or 34. So again, this 4 is rounding up. So the part, look at the pattern. 36, 36, 36, 36, 36. It keeps repeating 36. So the answer is 1 point. The part that repeats, you put a bar over it. Okay, the next part, write each fraction as a decimal. Be sure to put a bar over the digits that repeat. So if I do 7 divided by 9 on my calculator, I get 0.777777778. So I'm going to write 0.7 repeating, because the 7s repeat. If I do 21 divided by 22 on my calculator, I get 0.95454544545. So I'm going to put 0.9, and then I'm going to put 54, but I'm only going to put a bar above the 54, because the 54 is the part that repeats. And then number C, I do 11 divided by 8. So 11 divided by 8 is 1.375. There's no repeating, the digit stops. The number stops. And then 8/11 is 8 divided by 11 is 0.727272. So I'm going to put 0.72 and a bar over 72, because that's the part that repeats. So order these from least to greatest. We kind of did this a little bit already. So let's make a number line. We'll put 0. And then 0.2, remember, is 2/10. 0.5 is 5/10. And so I'm going to go up by tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, which is 1. So 2/10 is going to be right here. 2/10. 5/10 is going to be, ooh, I've labeled 2/10 wrong. 2/10 is going to be right here. 5/10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be right here. 7/10 right here. Now 4/5. I want 4/5 to have the same denominator. So I want that to have a denominator of 10, so I'm going to write 10. On the top, I had to multiply the bottom by 2 to get 10. So I have to multiply the top by 2 to get 8. So it's 8/10 right here. They're all positive, so that's why they're all on the right side. Okay, now this one, they're kind of different decimals. So I'm going to actually put 1/8 in my calculator, and it's negative 0.125. And 0.375, or negative 1/4, oops, is negative 0.25. These are all negative, so I'm going to put 0 over here. So which of these is the closest to 0? So which one is kind of like the least negative? So if I look at all the tens positions, I have a 1, I have a 7, I have a 2, and I have a 3. So the one with the lowest tens position, the next number over, is going to be negative 0.125. The next one has a 2 because it goes 1, 2, so negative 0.25. And this one has a 3, so that goes next, so that's negative 0.375. And then the last one is negative 0.75. That's how you write in order from least to greatest. Okay, this part, writing decimals as fractions. So writing it in simplest form. So what you do is you take the number of digits it has. So this is 43 hundredths. I read it off as 43 hundredths. So it's 43. On the bottom there's going to be 2 zeros because this has 2 decimal places. So this has 2 zeros. And then over here it's negative 1. Oh, and back here I can't reduce this. So it's in simplest form. I can't find two numbers that go into both 43 and 100. And then the next one is 12, but there's 2 decimal places, so it's 12 hundredths. In this case, I can reduce 12 100ths. So I have to think of the greatest common factor of 12 and 100. So what's the highest number that goes into 12 and 100? I'm going to first divide by 2, so you can always do that. So it's 6/50ths. Now I'm going to divide by 2 again, so it's 3/25ths. So my answer is negative 1, don't forget that negative 1 right here, and 3/25ths. And then letter C, 0.65 has 2 decimal places, so this has 2 zeros. And I'm going to divide the top by 5 and the bottom by 5 to get 13/20ths. And that's reduced all the way. D is 1, because there's a 1, and then this has 2 decimal places, so it's 75 hundredths. Well, 75 hundredths, you can divide the top by 25 and the bottom by 25. So it's 1, 75 divided by 25 is 3. 100 divided by 25 is 4. And then the last one is a 2, and then a 3 with just a 10, because there's only one digit after the decimal. So I just put 1 0, so that's the answer because I can't reduce it. And then we're going to talk more about these on the bottom in class, because there are a couple of them that I want you to know how to do off the top of your head. We don't need to do anything special to write it as a fraction, but I do want you to recognize that 0.6 repeating is 2/3. And the other repeating one I want you to recognize is 0.3 is 1/3. And we're going to practice studying both of those. So 0.6 repeating is 2/3, and 0.3 repeating I want you to recognize as 1/3.